Hey Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome to Montezuma's Bizarre Adventure, featuring special guest, my neighbour who has a skill saw and has decided to start just sawing wood at 20 to 1 on a Saturday. Regardless, we'll just jump right into things. Now, I really need to take Jeddah. I would love to clear that out, but I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of a retreat and see if I can bait this crossbowman out with maybe like this builder, for example. And this time I'll make sure that I'm actually in position to retake that. So what we'll do is get our archers positioned, and then I'll put a eagle warrior here and an eagle warrior here. And then I'll have these guys kind of in position to also flank. Because this builder got away, and I'm pretty upset about that. So next time I'm not going to let that happen. I do also have a little bit of a problem with this crossbowman over here. But that shouldn't be too hard to deal with. If I can get my great general up here, I should be able to step forward with both of my catapults and to get a hit. Now the problem is this takes 2 movement to move forward, so I might just have to get up onto the hill and wait for next turn, and whichever one of these guys takes damage, that'll be fine. So I think our main goal is to maybe see if we can siege Addis Ababa, but if we can't, that's not a big deal. We definitely want to take Jeddah, Axum, and Lalibela, so I might actually try to pour my army through the southern area, and then we'll move on to kill the Incas. The Incas are going to be very difficult because they kind of snowballed. So I think partially what we're going to be doing is spending a little bit of time of just improving our position on the map. You know, settling a couple of extra cities, building up maybe a campus or two, building up our capital, just spending just a little bit of time sort of building up our economy. Yeah, I definitely need to vote down this a military emergency. It'll be annoying if it passes. I don't mind so much, because if it does pass, I can actually get some value from it. Beautiful. There's apprenticeship, which means any mine that I build is now more valuable. It's actually worth twice as much. Now, if I build the vampire castle here, I'm curious how these yields change. Does it like vacuum up the entire thing? And does that auto apply that to my capital? And can that tile be worked? No, so this tile actually can't be worked, but that's not that big of a deal. So it's 15 production from that tile, so it might be better to build these vampire castles outside of my capital, but that's still an amazing tile, because I think all of these yields are automatically applied to my capital, which is really cool. But with the advent of apprenticeship, I think our next step is to head towards military engineering. And in order to get that slightly more efficiently, I would want to go watermill into aqueduct here. So I'm going to do that in my capital to kind of boost these along and end up with a tiny bit of extra science so that I can get to that just that little bit more efficiently. I also think I should get a couple of horsemen, but I've never actually improved any horses. The closest one I have is over here, so I might have to look into doing something else with this city. I do have a fully built campus, which is nice. This city is working some unimproved tiles. I definitely could fit like a builder or two into this city, so I might just go double builder in here. And I'm also going to retreat these eagle warriors just for now to see if I can't justify baiting this archer out. I would love to have like just a one charge builder to slap onto that tile. We finished the barracks in Baghdad. This is definitely the kind of city where I'd want a farm triangle to try to boost the productivity of it, because I could work these 4 tiles as a farm triangle and then look into, you know, for example, working some specialist slots. I definitely want a commercial hub. That's something I should maybe have built a while ago. Do I want to go for the aqueduct as well? I definitely feel like if I were to put an aqueduct here, it would lower the amount of farm triangles I have, but it could potentially give me a really good industrial zone here. But I feel like the commercial hub is better, and the +3 commercial hub would be really nice, even if I lose out on a farm triangle potential. It's just about time that I started getting a bit more money, because I'm starting to run out of money, and I need to sustain production of my units. I'm actually going to do something a little bit odd here. I'm going to step forward with my catapult and kill that, because I want to try to get promotions on my catapults. If I can get promotions on them, that would be perfect. Now, somebody said that these vampires have infinite build charges, which means technically I don't need builders to go chopping. I could actually use Esadisi as a constructor. Just send him around my territory, chopping out all the jungle as I move Magnus around. So I'm going to try that out and see how that works. Now, Arabia wants peace, and I would get a lot of value from getting peace, but I would rather get his cities. It really depends on how my amenities are looking, is going to be what decides if I want peace or not. And I think attacking Addis Ababa is going to be quite tough at this point of the game, but I'm going to start stepping forward with some of these guys, even just kind of like to get into position to maybe siege it. I'll just kind of have a little bit of a poke with my catapults. Now, Mekele has a holy site, which I don't care that much about. I think I would prefer to get myself a campus in here. So I will place that. Now, the question is that what I want to build? I also would like to get a commercial hub, and there is a good farm triangle here. So I'm thinking maybe if I were to take one of these... Oh, I can't swap tiles in occupied cities, can I? That's a bit unfortunate. So I might have to hold off on getting the commercial hub here. And instead, maybe I'll just like build a couple more crossbowmen throughout my empire to support my push. Siege Tower has almost arrived for the fight for Antananarivo, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll be able to grab myself another city. Takes a bit of time just to get set up and grab all this stuff. Looks like they've sent a chariot forward. Ooh, I don't like that crossbowman, so I think I'm going to start the assault on Antananarivo now. See if we can't clear that out. Really, I should have the builder policy card plugged in for the extra 2 builder charges, so that when I actually steal some of these guys, I end up with higher charge builders, but I'm going to skip that for now, because I don't want to spend 180 gold or whatever it is. I'm also going to send this crossbowman down to the south to support that front. Man, I really want a commercial hub in here, but this is like one of my best cities for actually producing units, so I'll keep making crossbowmen down here until I can like get another unit production city up and running. Like Mekele is only 15 turns, but if I get a little bit of production going in here, I think I can get that down to a pretty reasonable number, especially if I can get these mines online. The fact that there's a catapult inside that city is incredibly obnoxious. I have a second siege tower, which I can now send to the north. But I should be able to now, ideally, begin the siege and assault of this city. I think our main goal is to get the siege tower adjacent to it, and we can hit it next turn. Alright, so we have the aqueduct in the capital. We need to get to 7 pop here, which is probably going to happen naturally here very soon. I think the +2 culture from a single turn on monument is worthwhile. I would also maybe like to get barracks and armory in here. So those are going to be things that I'm looking at. Because if I can get the armory, it would allow me to get military engineers as well, which could build me roads and build me forts and all that sort of stuff. That could be very helpful. Poor little eagle took a lot of damage there, but I should be able to now get my siege tower in position, and I should be doing full damage to these walls? Why am I doing full damage? That makes no sense. I have a siege tower. I guess they let me step over the walls and not actually and like do damage directly to the city, which is fine. Yeah, let's just hammer the city, and we'll do a round of pillaging when we get closer to death. But we've already done like about half the city's health, maybe a third of the city's health in damage. We're only just getting started on the siege. So I'm looking forward to the results of that. In terms of next research, we did get mercenaries, which is great because we have a 50% discount on upgrading units. The real thing is I need to find somewhere that I can get gold from. And probably the best way to get gold is to get divine right so that I can plug in more military policy cards and just to increase my economy in general. So, I mean, I could go for Merchant Republic, but I'm going to go for divine right this game. Yeah, I think I'll hold on to my envoys in case they steal Hong Kong from me, because Hong Kong's being useful. The Incas are trying to spread their religion, which I'm not a huge fan of because there aren't any counter religions, so I might have to kill them pretty quickly. Okay, there's 2 crossbowmen, so this should still work just fine because I have a ton of units in the area. I should be able to kill that crossbowman and then step back and bait the other crossbowman out. That's like the plan that we're going for here. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We've already tried it once and it failed. But, you know, if you don't succeed once, you got to try again. Now, I also think one of our goals with our gold is to try to acquire all of the tiles around this vampire castle and improve them with production tiles so that we can maximize the amount of value we get from our vampire castle in our capital. So that's just something worth considering. So this guy's probably dead no matter what I do. So I'm just going to pillage to get a bit of gold out of him. And then I'm going to continue to hammer this city. So I'll probably attack with the swordsman first, and then the eagle warriors. So I can bring that city's health down quite a bit, and I might be able to kill it next turn, we'll see. But the crossbowman will certainly help, because look at the amount of damage he does to the walls. I think I'll grab... Do I want a skirmisher this game? No, I don't think I'll go skirmisher. I think what I'll do is... My capital has a couple of unimproved tiles, and I think I could justify improving these tiles. So what I'll do is I'll quickly grab myself a builder and a barracks in here. Now, Sempawala is a city that could build a lot of really interesting things, but I think the most important thing is just to get my economy going. Things like a commercial hub would be really good. And I want to make sure that I position carefully so I don't block anything like a farm triangle and stuff like that. But I think what I could do is I could do like an aqueduct, a commercial hub, and then a industrial zone here. And that would probably be a good adjacency industrial zone. Like if I were to do this, and then all I need to do is like maybe get one more district on this side. And then this commercial hub is a +4 adjacency, which is really, really powerful. Really what I need is like a builder over here to improve this territory. But I'll just let this city slowly work on a monument and granary. Okay, the crossbowman is taking the bait. That's good. Oh, actually, Sodo is vulnerable. I could very easily capture that city. Let's see if we can pull that off. These guys should still have moves. Oh, you're not in range of the city anymore. Okay. So, Vampire Chop. Boom. He lost his bill charge. Huh? I mean, the chop worked, but he doesn't have a bill charge anymore. So somebody told me they have infinite bill charges. Was I lied to? Pillaging Antananarivo. Make sure we shoot with the crossbow. Although first, I think I will pillage here, pillage there. I'm going to just do pillage because I want to get value out of these eagles because they're probably going to die soon. So my best bet is to look for easy value. And pillaging is easy value. So maybe I can do a good chunk of damage with my guy again. Bring down the walls. Do I keep attacking? I definitely move you to here to protect from that swordsman. This guy's definitely dead. But I'm okay with him being dead because I'm sacrificing some units to get the city. And the city is worth more than the units. If I attack here, I would probably lose both of my eagles. Whereas if I fortify, I have a chance to survive. So I'll fortify there. Right, we have a bit of a problem. I'm going to turn this into a crossbowman. Right after I get rid of Strategos, I'm going to plug in Professional Army. I really want to have Conscription plugged in, but Professional Army makes a huge amount of sense here. I only have one trade route, so I think Urban Planning is still best. But if you become a crossbow, we'll be in better position to actually deal with these next turn. I think we want to do some damage to that chariot and then kill here. And he gets another combat strength. This guy has 69 combat strength, by the way, because he's killed so much stuff. He's basically like a giant death robot walking around at the moment because so much stuff has died near him. Crossbowman did buy the bait again, which is exactly what we were hoping for. So we'll shoot him with our archers first. See if we can't get him down to a reasonable health level. Then capture him with the swordsman. And then I'll step back with the swordsman and see if we can repeat that with this crossbowman. Because I just need to get rid of his crossbowman. If I can get rid of his crossbowman, I can take that city no problem. Otherwise I'll need my vampire down there to take it. As predicted, I lost a unit here, but that's okay because I'm still getting pillages. And Antananarivo. Oh, it looks like he actually levied that unit, which is pretty good for me. Let's hit this city hard. And then next turn we should be able to take it with ease. Yeah, if I do this, you might die, so I want to hold off on that. If I can preserve a unit and save it and like waste a turn on capturing a city, I'll preserve the unit. Lands here in Barca aren't amazing, but if I can get these two mines online, the city will become much, 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 much better. Again, I think the big thing is the commercial hub. And I want to try to avoid spending, but this means it could get pillaged. But I think I'm willing to accept the potential of getting pillaged here for the ability to just get the commercial hub up, because my gold is starting to become a big, big, big problem. I'm also going to grab grants with Pingala. That will give me slightly more grey people generation in the capital, which is exactly what we want. A little bit of extra grey people goes quite a way. We could actually almost take his capital with the vampire alone. Let's get to work on the siege of his capital, because holy crap, I hit that once with a... Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, these vampires get insane so quickly. Yeah, I think I'll be able to take this with the vampire, no problem. Otherwise I have to wait. So yeah, apparently I was wrong about how these vampires work. Apparently they don't get infinite build charges. But I mean, that's what I was told in the comments. And like, you know, I haven't played with these things before. So, you know, if you guys tell me something in the comments, I'm going to like experiment with it and see if it's true. And I hate to say this, but more often than not, it turns out to not be true. You guys mislead me all the goddamn time. All right, let's go ahead and scooch. And scooch here. and scooch here. We will attack with swordsmen. We will damage the walls with you. And then we will take the city. And then that will delete the catapult. Antananarivo will be mine. Which is perfect. It's another city under my belt. I'll get some of this stuff repaired. This city will need a builder to repair it up. So I might actually send you over for that task. Although the production in this city is too important to delay. So we officially have military engineering, which gives us access to niter. So I think our next big move is to go for gunpowder. To follow up with musketmen. We're picking up niter from somewhere. We have one niter underneath Mekele, which is perfect, and one niter underneath Cairo's encampment, which is also perfect. I kind of wish I still had those tiles, because those tiles are really valuable. But if I build this armory, my capital will be able to crank out an insane number of units, and we'll get gunpowder really, really quick. Small problem. I'll give this guy crew weapons, and then I will rip this city down. I think I'm going to rip the city down now, so that it belongs to me. I'll keep that city. Now I have a decent amount of pressure kind of holding me back here, but if I can reassign Victor to there, that will give me plenty of time. Like if I can capture Sodo, if I can capture Lalabella. Lalabella should be an easy cap. And Sodo, I should actually be able to capture Sodo with my with just my catapults and like this eagle warrior here. So I might just send him off to kill Lalabella on his own, because he should be able to two-shot that city too. He's just that powerful. Alright, let's see if they'll take the bait on this crossbowman again. I hope they will. Alright, let's kill... Well, let's see. If I kill him, I will get +1 combat strength, which I guess works. And I also need to get rid of this quadrireme. And then work on Sodo. So, making progress. Making progress. We'll be able to move on Lalabella soon. Making progress like it was baking pancakes. I do need to start looking at dealing with this southern area, and now that the city is now productive enough to be useful, I might grab myself like a couple swordsmen in here and just send them to the south, because swordsmen are pretty reasonably powerful. They're like weak warriors at this point. Alright, brilliant. We got the commercial hub in Baghdad. I would like a builder to get the farm triangle, because that would allow me to keep growing the city, although it is technically an occupied city, so I might just go for the extra gold income, because +2 gold right now is literally tripling my gold income. So every ounce of gold I can squeeze out of my empire is a big deal. Can you actually just like every time they come out? Well, I mean, I guess it is a way to get free kills to keep him weak, and if I'm going to do that, I should probably have the vampire be in position rather than anyone else. I know this is like really expensive to do in our capital, but I get to work this tile twice essentially, so +2 production is actually +4, because I'm pretty sure it applies to the central vampire castle. Does it? It said 15 production there. Did the yields on the vampire castle never improve? That would be annoying if that was true. Shoot the crossbow, shoot the crossbow, hit with the swordsman. His city is going independent, which I guess is cool. I mean, it's not the outcome I was looking for. I'm gonna bring one of my catapults to the north and the other one to the south. This is also another perfect spot for a vampire castle, but I want to improve these tiles before I do it, because I don't know if that actually matters, but I want to see. Because as far as I can tell, this tile didn't actually update when I built a mine right beside it. Right, we move our catapult and our vampire up to hit Lalabella. I could take the promotion. I think I will, actually. And we could do half the city's health in a single attack with our vampires. Sodo, on the other hand, is getting ready to fall. Oh, I don't have my general in range anymore to give him the buff, so he'll have to wait till next turn, but we're just about there when it comes to killing that city. Lovely farm diamond in Mecca now, and a couple of mines, and we'll get a lumber mill here too as well. So this city should be able to grow quite a bit, although I should probably get the granary in here after these two swordsmen. It's a little bit disturbing that these vampire castles, like, once they're placed, their productivity doesn't seem to change, because this is still saying 15 production, even though I've built 2 improvements next to it. But I guess that is a bit of a learning experience for me, like, you know, make sure your vampire castle has the yields that you want it to have before you actually build it, you know what I mean? Time to finally take advantage of the Fountain of Youth, giving my units the Water of Life ability, which allows them to heal +10 health no matter where they are on the map. Armory completed in Tenochtitlan, city's up to 60 production. I'm going to grab myself a quick industrial zone to get that even higher. And it'd probably be a good idea to pick up the buttress here as well, because a flood on this city now would be devastating, because it would kill so much useful infrastructure. Alright, Lalabella, time for you to meet your maker. Crossbowman or not, you're fallen. So we've captured Lalabella. We get to keep that city. Ethiopia apparently still has a city. Oh, it's Sodo. Well, we should be able to flip that in the next couple of turns. Crossbowman and catapult with an eagle smashing into the city should do the trick. I think that also means that we're going to push into Jeddah. Let's just get as many of these units upgraded to the next tier as possible. I'll send the vampire in first because he can heal from running around and pillaging. So he should be able to like tank the crossbow for a bit. Of course they get a crossbowman in this city like a turn before I'm about to flip it to my side. That's obnoxious. So I will lose a catapult for this, but I will capture the city. It's obnoxious, but it is what it is. Alright, we got our industrial zone inside of the capital. We'll quickly build a workshop. Again, just trying to maximize the amount of production in here, because it's all getting multiplied by a massive number. Although my gold is starting to become an issue, and that will become only bigger and bigger of an issue as the game goes on here, especially since I'm not able to build the things that I want in terms of gold generation. So that's going to be a rough one to overcome. Oh man, this city is healing just fast enough to not be killed by this Aztec eagle. Oh, that is so obnoxious. I'm going to have to bring my other catapult back. And I had already moved cars forward to attack Jeddah. And I don't want to change directions now. So this guy just has to hopefully fortify long enough on this tile to survive. Oh, that's really, really obnoxious. Do I have another unit I can send to maybe help? Oh, I was so close to just wiping Ethiopia off the map and then this crossbowman appeared. Again, it often feels like the AI just perfectly manufactures a situation that makes like it very hard for me to get like exactly what I want. I do get to pick up a tribal village here for 40 gold and clear a barb camp for another 30, so I'm pretty happy about that. Surprised there's still barb camps and tribal villages knocking around this late into the game. We did just finish a market, which means I can get another trader. And I think the big goal here is to try to find maybe a city-state I can trade with. Ideally, it would be like Leventa or something, but the problem is that Menelik is suzerain of it. Maybe I should have kept Antananarivo or something. I have to find a way to get gold from my trade routes. That's like the main thing. I would love a vampire castle down by the Fountain of Youth, actually. And I think I'm going to do that because it means I can teleport units from my capital down here, pick this up, and then teleport them to a different vampire castle in the late game. Oh, and now the quadriremes are getting in on the action. This is just absurdity, dude. There's no need for this nonsense in a video game. Like I had the city finished. I have to send cars up there now. Or do I finish Arabia first, I think. Yeah, I think I finish Arabia first because I'm already here. Like, I'm in Jeddah. That's deeply upsetting. That like, oh yeah, I've got this taken care of, and then a crossbowman appears. Like, maybe I should have taken into account that maybe a crossbowman could have appeared. Maybe that would have been the right thing to do. I definitely need more commercial hubs, and I think it's time to start working on them in Cairo. I'm gonna just pop one down here. The +2 adjacency is more than enough for me in the mid game. I hate the barbarians, dude. I had that city taken. And the goddamn barbarian quadrireme is just like, lol, nope. And now this eagle is under threat of death as well. So, it just feels terrible. And I can't even send this catapult to do this because now that I don't have the crossbowman, that just all collapsed on me, and I hate it. I hate it all so much right now. At the very least, I do have El Cid, who I can form an early core. Unfortunately, that doesn't actually boost the vampire combat strength because you have to actually kind of build your own unit to get the advantage of that. But at least it's a step in the right direction. But Jeddah should fall pretty quick with the vampire, thankfully. I do have the workshop in my capital. Now, I could go for more settlers if I wanted to do weird stuff, like fill in the map. But looking at the science game, I think I can actually catch up here without going for a lot more cities. I could go for that if I wanted to. I could get more cities because I could build settlers in 2 turns, right? But I think I'm better off like building a knight or 2. Or maybe I'd even be better off doing encampment trainings to get extra gold until I can start cranking out musketmen. So I think I'll do an encampment training, and that'll get me a little bit of extra gold per turn from running it. There goes the eagle at Sodo. Man. I know I'm kind of like talking about it a lot, but it is deeply upsetting when something like that happens because it like completely derails your whole plans for the game. But anyway, there goes Arabia. We've killed them. They're gone. We get +5 era score. We get to keep the city. We can turn our attention at Soto. I get like every time I look at this city, I'm reminded of like just how triggered by that I am. So we have unlocked musketmen, which is great because now we can upgrade our units to musketmen, although it is quite expensive. So I'm probably going to hard build like a couple musketmen in the capital first before I do anything remotely like that. Musketmen are going to be a big deal though, because it's going to mean that we'll be able to hit the Incas with a unit that they're not fully prepared for. The big problem is we need to deal with the Incas' religion. So I don't know when to declare war on them because I do have a ton of grievances with them right now. If I wait, every turn that I wait, I have a few less grievances with the Inca, which makes my war a little bit easier. The question is, do I have a good Casus Belli? Not really. And I don't have the diplomatic favor to generate a Casus Belli, unfortunately. And I have a -10 from occupied capitals. Now I'm curious, does the Fountain of Work... Oh, the Fountain of Youth does work on vampires. That's actually huge, because it means they're way more effective at healing. I'm going to bring this Great General with this guy with cars to keep him moving nice and quick. And we'll go see if we can take Soto. I swear to God, they're going to build walls in there, and I'm going to be a very sad boy. Now, I would prefer to put my commercial hub on the north side of this river in Mecca. So I'm going to hold off on that. In terms of other districts I could build, there's an okay industrial zone right there. In the long run, I think probably I'll get an entertainment complex. I just throw it down somewhere to get a couple of extra amenities. I think a lot of people, when they're playing this, they think the vampire is like the big conquest bonus. But honestly, the vampire castle giving you so much production in your capital that you can like 2-turn new tech units is super powerful. That's honestly the part that gives it this sort of a vampire sanguine pact build more sustainability, is the fact that you can get an insane amount of production in your capital from the vampire castle. Right, there is Divine. Right, we're going to go ahead and plug in Monarchy now. Not that Monarchy is my favorite government, but it does allow me to plug in a lot of these military cards so I can build units faster, upgrade them cheaper, and maintain them cheaper. And then it leaves enough room for potentially some interesting cards. Like, for example, I could plug in Oligarchic Legacy. I think I would be more inclined to plug in Caravanseries here, because I think my big problem right now is gold income. As much as I would love, some of these other cards, I think gold income is the right move. And you see, that brought me up from -9 gold per turn up to positive 11.8. So, all in all, a bit of a victory. I think the next big thing for me would be to maybe pick up Mercantilism for better trade route gold income. Let's see. Diplomatic Service would also be good to get spies. If I could get some spies out, I could start getting diplomatic visibility with my enemies, which also means I might want to pick up printing in the near future. Diplomatic visibility gives you some combat strength against your enemies, so that's why I'm considering it. Also, time to place down my second vampire castle. Alright, there we go. We placed the vampire castle. This one is 17 food, 14 production. Holy crap. My capital is now generating a 34.7 food surplus. I'm kind of thinking that maybe vampires could be really interesting for a one city challenge. Because if you have good enough land, you could place these vampire castles, get 4 of them into your capital, and just turn it into an absolute monster in terms of housing and production. I don't know, just an interesting idea. But I think that's all the vampire castles I can get this era. We will have to wait until we upgrade our secret society to get our next vampire castle. So to give you an idea of just how powerful a farm triangle is for growing a city, these are only producing like a little bit of food surplus. Realistically, because of my multipliers, it's 9.5 food per turn. And, early game cities don't need that much food to grow. If these were just regular farms, I'd probably be producing like, 6 surplus food per turn? 6 point something? If even. No, I'd be producing like 5.5 surplus food per turn. But because this is... these are farm triangles getting the benefit from feudalism, it nearly doubles the actual profit, the non-maintenance food I get, right? Because if you take away 1 food from each of these farms, my food surplus is 5. and then it gets multiplied by 10% to 10%, which would bring it to like 6. So yeah, almost like half of the benefit I'm getting from these farms is coming from the feudalism bonus, which is just amazing. Question I want to ask myself is, do I try to kill Leventa as well, or do I try to keep them alive? I think I'm going to wait until Menelik is dead, and then see if I want to kill Leventa. Hey, we got Hildegard of Bingen. Not that I really care about Hildegard of Bingen, but I do actually have a decent holy site that I inherited that I can use her on. If you don't know, Hildegard of Bingen, when you use her, she turns holy site's faith adjacency into science. So that'll be pretty nice for this one. It'll be +3 science. Not an amazing amount, but still respectable. Oh my god, where did this Oromo cavalry come from? Ugh, Jesus Christ. This thing just wants to make my life harder. That's all this game wants, is to make my life more difficult. To make, like, how did he even build that there? I was having a good time. And now I'm just straight up not having a good time, bro. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll deal with this next turn. I'll redirect some actual resources. I have 2 musketmen in the area that I can use. And this guy I can potentially upgrade it to a musketman too, if I can get a little bit more gold. I'm going to probably declare war on the Incas this turn. This was like really just cleaning up the early wars. And now that we're like kind of ahead in terms of science, sure, the Inca has more science per turn than me, but I don't think he actually has musketmen yet. And my military score is nearly triple his, so I should be able to take him down with relative ease as this army sweeps in from the south, this army sweeps in from the middle, and this army cleans up Ethiopia. It'll be able to swing in from the north as well. So this should be a relatively easy kill. And then pretty much everyone else who's left on the continent should be to the west as well, because this is a Pangea game. Anyway, that's going to be it from me. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.